Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, along with the one, the only, the Chipmunk. What's up, bro?
Hey man, what's going on, eh?
A whole lot of nothing, dude. I'm drinking a nighttime coffee, so you know.
A little nightcap, dude. You got a crippling caffeine addiction, dude. It slows you down.
Yeah, right. It's one of the, I had a day of work today where it was just myself and one other person just manning the whole fucking company. So, you know,
Yeah.
I
feel like
you had to get it.
Caffeine is the most probably abused drug out there, right? And like we all just are okay with
black
it.
Tar.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Depends on who you ask.
It's all the same, really. Yeah,
you know,
if
you're doing it right. If you're doing it right, it's all the same.
Yeah. Nobody cares as long as it gets your productivity up.
Yeah,
dude.
right. You could be the biggest fucking crackhead ever. If you get your work done, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, like he's a crackhead, but he shows up and damn it, does he get he hits numbers.
Right.
He's getting all the numbers. He's been employee of the month every month since he's been in here.
Bar none. Bar none.
It's like, yeah, he does crack, but I mean, look at the workmanship, dude. The craft. You gotta appreciate it, dude.
Oh shit, man. So what's new with you, brother?
I've been, just hanging out down the street doing the same old thing.
let me ask how that RPG Maker stuff's going on. I saw you were grinding, dude. On every time I look on Steam, you're an RPG Maker just getting it. So how's that coming?
It's been good so far. I've been grinding, like you said. What's helped is I've had like a giant world map kind of like, boxed out. And then I've been just tackling like one screen at a time as that will show up. I haven't done interiors. I've been working literally big to small with like details. And I almost have everything done. There's one last, it's kind of like a Pokemon-esque clone. So I got like the Elite Four, like last part to do still. And I cheated on the one town because I was like, there's like each city with a gym or whatever. So the one last city before the Elite Four that I had left on the to-do list, I was like, you know what I can do? I can just make this a skyscraper. That's been in like, there's like the Team Rocket building that you go into. And then there's like the haunted building from the old school Pokemon games. And I was like, I'll just do that. I just got to make like a little skyscraper. Boom, done with that one. Now I just got to do the Elite Four road and all the interiors. So I'm hitting that 90% mark. So that means I still have 100% of the work left to do before I hand it over to the Professor. But Professor says
part in this.
So he's going to be doing like the battle systems and programming all that in because it uses JavaScript and he's a JavaScript wizard. So
yep.
He was like, oh yeah, it'll be easy, man. He's like, he also says it's been really inspiring to see like the progress photos. I've been sending him email updates on like what I've been doing. The other day I saw him like log into Valheim and I was like, oh, snaps. And he's like, yeah, I was playing Valheim. I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, bro. Like, because like the last thing you want to do, like when you're trying to relax with someone, be like, hey, how come you're not, working on this project yet? It's like, like, well, did you finish your part yet? I'm like, no. But it's like, well, it looks like I can't do too much of anything then, can I? But,
hey, do you get the thing where you're just like, where you're going to get it done, right? But you just want to have time to relax? Because, like a game dev isn't our day jobs, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Like there's hobby, then there's just relaxing and unwinding too. So I get if you're doing a collaborative effort with someone, you're like, okay, they haven't worked on this in like 4 days, right? But at some point you got to go, well, they're just unwinding,
Yeah,
man. Like if someone says that to me, I wouldn't mind it at first, but if it's like every day, I'm like, fuck you, dude. And that's where the projects die. But
absolutely. I think the other problem we've always had is just working in parallel with each other. And like a lot of that is just building out the proper systems ahead of time to tackle those problems. Where it's like, there's absolutely no reason why we both couldn't be working on each of our individual parts of the game at the same time. But like, we just really didn't discuss it or how we would like pull together the project. Like we've talked about like putting something up on GitHub and like we'd both be pulling from it at one point. We talked about using like, I think the program's called like Artisy Draft, where it's like a program where you can write. And I was like, oh, I can set up like a server for this. And Professor was like, I don't want to do that shit, whatever. He's like, the story's the weakest part of any game anyway, bro, as long as it's fun. And I was like, all right, whatever, dude. That's a bold statement, dude. It sounds like you're gonna be writing all the dialogue by yourself. But yeah, man, it's so like just any collaborative effort, like you need to like talk about like how you'll work in parallel, but we've always just worked in series, and that can be incredibly discouraging to both people, where it's like, I don't see you getting anything done, and I can't do my part until you're done. And then it's like, well, I'm doing all this work and you're not doing anything, so it's easy to sit on the sideline, you know. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to both. Like if you're on a team with like two mature people who can like understand, like, all right, it's just part of the process. I'll do my part, and then let you do your part, and then understand that, like, you know, as long as you're doing what you have to do, it's a learning experience, right? Just chalk it all up to a learning experience, and don't expect anything of it. Be like, all right, I'm doing this part. That's my part, and if nothing comes of it, that's okay. You know, you have to be adult enough to get to that point, because a lot of times, like in smaller projects, a lot of like game jam things, like most people aren't going to finish, right? If you can just get
Yeah,
across
yeah,
the finish line, that's a huge part. So it's easy to get discouraged along the way, but like just as long as you finish something, or at least finish your part of the project, right? It's everyone's classic example of the school project that, you know, it's like the one person's not going to do shit. Like expect
yep,
that in like any
yep,
game jam project, especially if you guys are like meeting online or something, or, uh, you know, this is just part of like a project management as well. It's like,
yeah.
are you going to have meetings? Are you going to have like, you know, milestones that you're trying to hit? Do
I
you
was,
have
I
like
was
a,
gonna say, like for me, a Trello board or something similar, and milestones are like the big thing.
yeah,
What also helped me with the collaborative effort, because you know, I my brother-in-law and I made games together, so solid shout out. We were most productive when we lived in the same place,
yeah,
because we would just like we'd be in one side of the room to each other and go, "Hey, I got this done and got this done," and at that point we just shared a USB stick. So it's like, "Hey, my
yeah.
part's done." He literally throws the USB across the room, catch it, pop it in, get it done. And then I was like, "Okay, this USB shit's annoying," so I set up a network share, so it was a lot better. But we went through. I think we finished 2 or 3 projects completely before I was like annoyed, and then set up a network share, and then. Then when I moved
It only
across
took like
states,
10, 20 times for that USB to hit you in the back of the head before you're like, you know what?
no, we kept losing it. We kept losing
Ah,
it.
it's even
uh,
worse.
yeah, right. So there's one point where I forget who. I'm not, just because I'm the one telling the story. It's not going to be me. But someone saved over like the you know live or the most recent version with
Yep.
an older one accidentally. So we lost probably like 2 days of work. So
Yeah.
you know
That's
the
brutal too, especially like if you're grinding it out too, man.
yep
That's like
yep
40
yep
hours
yep.
of work almost. Like,
Exactly, exactly. So you know, we learned from that. Now I'll use Git or some other repository like that. I haven't done a big collaborative effort like that before. I used like a sync to Dropbox was the last
mhm.
project we completed was that, but probably just use Git from now on. No,
Yeah, I would
no, no
say
harm in it.
this is giving me the itch to work in a bigger team. Because I've always heard like the phrase where it's like faster alone but further together.
Yeah,
Where it's like if you're working in like a bigger team, like you can get like way more stuff done, but you can get there faster by yourself. Like certain things,
yeah,
like because like all the scope of my games I've made have been really small, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, I'd like to make something bigger with like multiple stages and stuff. And
yeah.
I think I told you about this, where I got Trench Broom, the
Yep,
Quake mod.
yep.
So what I
Seriously, shout out to those devs, dude. They are doing
oh,
God's
dude,
work.
they haven't stopped. This is a Quake map editor from back in the day that they made, where it just exports to everything. It like makes, I think Source is kind of like the ideal, where it's like Quake, you know, Quake 3, Hexen, like those old school type of games where it makes like .bsp type maps. But it can just export as like an object file, and you can import it like anywhere. So at some point, because I was looking at like the auto tile problem that I was having with tiled and the map making features in that, I had to use Qdo to get the a plugin for that that would like audibly like make the map tiles correct for me to use. So at some point that changed up the YouTube algorithm for me. So then it was like, hey, you like map making and you like Godot. Have you heard of Qdo? And I was like, what the hell is this? So I clicked it and it was like, it's a Quake plugin for like a Trench Broom right into
Yeah,
Godot. And I was like, damn, that's what's up. And I was like, can I just use Trench Broom to make maps? And then yeah, I've been playing around in that after I'm done. I spend like an hour working on like 2D maps, and then I spend like an hour at night just working on 3D maps now. So it's been a
nice,
thing. I've been
nice.
building it. Like it hasn't been too crazy. It's been like the last few days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more of
I've
a
been
learning
making
project.
maps. Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
yeah, it's fun, man. I don't
Sweet.
know. And other than that, I played a bit of Final Fantasy VII Remake. So,
Are you far enough into it to have an opinion,
uh,
or would you
not
give it
really.
some
I'd
shake?
say I'm
Okay.
like 7, 8 hours, and I've been really busy with
Wow.
everything else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got some
It's
time.
nothing. I don't like how the combat works right away because they took away the turn-based combat,
Yep.
but they didn't refit the maps for how the new combat system works. And I understood intuitively how the new combat system works, where it's like a series of block parrying and like knocking. It kind of works like Devil May Cry if you're doing it right. Uh, and I love me some Devil May Cry, so I've just been destroying everything. Where it's like it's not really fun because like I'm abusing corners and like how the minions appear. Like the maps need to be like 3 times the size that they are
Have
for
you
the
have you met Aerith
combat.
yet?
No,
Okay. When you meet her and right before she joins your party, that's when the combat actually
starts
forms
up.
fully. Yeah. So hold on to your opinion there because I thought the same thing as you. Then when I met Aerith, and
Ah,
the combat actually forced you to actually strategize because you're right. For the first few hours in that game, you could just fucking blow through the entire thing like
yeah,
you're Dante. But
yeah.
definitely when you get further, so we spoke a little bit about this, and you were all like, "It's like this." I'm like, "No, it's not." And then I realized you just talking about that. I realized it's like, "Oh, you're that early in the game still." So
Yeah,
you're right. At the beginning, it is like that. But once you have like a full party and you have to start like not quite min maxing shit, but utilizing when your like limit breaks start and shit like that, and then you have your different classes. You have like your ranged, your healers, and all that shit. You actually have to pay attention to their spacing and their auto AIs and shit like that. And it gets very tactical, but it's also like you said, it's an action RPG now, so there's no
yeah.
turn based. So, but I thought, especially once you get to that point in the game, it really shines, and I thought it was innovative and clever as fuck for how they
Yeah.
adapted that game's combat. So, hold on to
Nice.
that opinion. I think
Yeah,
if
because
you pursue, yeah,
so far I've had like zero reason to like change to any other characters in the
yep,
party. I'm like, I don't know, why do I even have this as an option so far?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll see what happens, man. What
Yeah,
about you? What
yeah,
have you been on?
definitely. So, I've been so before I get to the big crux of the entire pod today, I've been doing well, man. I've been getting back into the Valorant after vacation. Uh,
Yes.
had a very fucking great games yesterday. 30 bomb, 40 bomb to end to end my
That's,
stream.
that
Shout out
sounds made up.
Intoxicated Fable, who was also 30 bombing last night. So it was super
Screenshots
fun.
art didn't happen, bro.
Oh, I got screen. I could show you, dude. That was all streamed. You can see it. uh,
Mom, get the camera.
but yeah, man, the Valorant's been fun. I updated my Game Maker Studio too. I updated everything and got set up in my bedroom actually. So because
Oh,
it's the thing is when I'm downstairs in the basement, right? If it's on a weekday, I'm not going to work on games because I work during the day. If it's like a
yeah.
Friday night or a Saturday, I will. And I was like, I just need a change of scenery. So either I work not in the same chair or I make games not in the same chair.
I
So
get it, bro.
you know what I mean? I need a
100%.
different scenery.
I've been
Yeah.
using the laptop, and when I'm working on maps, I sit here and I have like
Yeah.
everything set up at
Yeah.
my desk
Yeah.
because I know I'm not getting shit done if I'm like in the other room or if I'm like laying down in bed. I'm just watching YouTube, even though like I'd be like penultimum comfort to like just
Yep.
sit in like dive in. I'm
Oh,
like, you need to
dude.
switch up the space. Like it's crazy.
I figured out the greatest thing, dude. So my work laptop and outside on my deck, I got we installed a an outdoor plug or whatever outlets. So I'm just gonna bring my work laptop out there. I'm gonna work outside, so that way I can just come in and feel that and not feel like I've been here all day.
Yeah.
That's the play for the rest of the summer. So
All right.
I'm starting up. I got my assets and I got to a good stopping point for my stealth game. So I'm gonna put that on hold, so I can just kind of focus on because I have a big project in my day job. So I'm gonna focus on that for a little bit. And I
Yeah.
got for a smaller game maker project, I'm making an auto runner for my kids. I already
Nice.
have all of the assets ready, and I did all the sprite animation already. That's actually starring my kids. I made their chibi heads of their
Okay.
actual
Yeah.
faces
Yeah.
from a thing, photoshopped it a bit, cartoonized it, and all that shit. And it's just like an auto runner. My son, then they have powers. My son has like a like you when you get charged up, his fists get big and he can just start punching shit as it's
Yeah,
running. My daughter has guns. She requested guns.
you're like, oh, what
uh,
kind of power do you want? Your bro has like powerful fists. She's like, I want a
yeah.
gun. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
And then she was talking. She's like, wait. So she's like guns or ice powers or fire powers. So I was gonna make her like a mage elemental or something like that, so she can pick up different powers.
Thinks she's Samus, dude. She thinks she's Metroid Prime out here,
Right.
dude.
So so I was blocking out the levels, and I've never done an auto runner in Game Maker before, so it's a learning process, and it's
Yeah.
something for my kids. So my projected platform for it is just their Amazon Fire tablets
Oh,
and
okay,
like
cool.
general Android. So yeah, I hope to work on that. Hopefully tomorrow night. I'll definitely, if you're working on your RPG Maker shit, I'll link up with you. We can just work
Just hang out,
simultaneously in our
just
different
vibe.
projects. It's nice to have just vibe. You know what I mean? It's nice to, because someone else is working on something creative. It does inspire me, and it makes me feel not so alone. Because sometimes when you're solo deving, dude, it gets lonely as shit. So
Dude, I've been throwing on like music and just chill music, and that seems to work for me
okay,
for now. But
okay,
again, like I've also found like the most time I can spend is like an hour to 2.5 hours
okay.
of pure focus time. Like it's weird because it's like a creative process, right? So it's constant problem solving. So it's like uh, you're basically running at full speed trying to solve problems. Like you're laying the bridge as you're like going across it, basically.
Yep, yep,
And I don't know, it's just like really taxing mentally, especially like after work or like anything else. Kind of like you said, where it's like you almost have to be like in the correct mind space to actually get something done. Otherwise, you can spend like hours and not get anything done. It feels
yep,
like like
yep,
but
yep,
so I try to wait until like my like mind's relax, and then I come here, I sit down, I pull up the laptop, and I'm like, I'm just gonna focus hard for an hour and just get this one piece of the puzzle done.
yep,
And I don't know, it's been a lot of work, it's I've been able to focus on and do what I have to do because I know that the professor is still waiting to do his part of it, so it's helped a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I would like to have somebody like just hang out with, just in the same room. I mean, they do this for like YouTube and stuff, where it's like this is the live stream music for people who are studying. And it's like,
Yeah. The girl, right? Like for
yeah,
music to study and relax, dude. The
you
lo-fi
know,
rap. Yeah,
lo-fi,
hell yeah.
yeah,
That's the best, dude. Shout
yeah.
out
It's
that
like
dude. Lo-fi music.
nobody's like talking in the chat or anything. We're just all there gathered
Yeah,
up to do our
yeah,
work.
definitely, dude. For sure. For sure. That does help. Yeah, man. So that's what I've been doing. It's nice that we're kind of, I've noticed that you and I've been on the same wavelength quite a bit, especially lately, man. We're kind of in the same
Okay.
like creative space. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's been nice. Like this pod is nice to just kind of see that someone else is doing something creative as well, to just
Yeah.
get it. So that's been cool.
Yeah.
Um I will say, what else I've been up to is I mentioned it on the pod last week. My Steam Deck was on its way this week. It has arrived. It has
Dang,
arrived.
dude.
Oh,
It's
there's
a greasy
fingerprints
deck,
on it.
dude.
Yeah, I think my kids had it. Yeah, there's definitely. I gotta use the Steam branded Steam Deck.
They came with its own cloth.
It came with its own cloth, dude.
Nice, man. That's better than the Oculus, dude. That thing come with nothing to clean those lenses, dude.
The Vibe came with the thing too. I guess.
Dang,
Pay
Steam knows what's
attention to
up,
that.
dude. They like you're gonna be your greasy little mitts are gonna be all over this. Here's a little
Yeah, well, the
cloth.
screen's it's a touch screen as well, so you're gonna get your
Yeah,
body oils and shit on it too. So that shit's not. It didn't wipe
yeah.
much,
It's
but
starting up. Let's
yep,
see.
starting up. I
How
gotta say,
you
dude, it
liking it?
is probably one of the best purchases I've ever made in my life.
Wow, that's huge, dude.
This is the carrying case it came with as well. It's actually fucking heavy
Okay.
duty as shit. Um,
Are you lamenting that it came after your vacation, like you came back, or are you happy that you
no,
didn't have it on
I'm
vacation?
happy I didn't have it on vacation because I
Yeah,
would
because that would
have.
have been too much of a distraction.
Yeah, exactly. I
It's
wouldn't
new,
be
it's
able to enjoy it.
shiny.
Yep.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to enjoy your family and
The
hanging out with
Steam
them.
Steam menu here, and then I got lights and shit, so you probably can't see too well. But I was Binding of Isaac. I installed BattleNet on it, so I was playing
Oh,
Diablo 2 Resurrected while I was taking a shit. You know,
okay, yeah.
good stuff. Like, dude, if like 11-year-old me, I don't know how old was I in 2001. 13-year-old me knew that I could play Diablo 2 on the toilet, without like a laptop or whatever, I would have lost my damn mind. So,
Bro, I came home to a hate crime Like I went to my
What?
bathroom and there was a
Okay.
shit in there still. And I was like, I thought
You're the
somebody
only
like
one who
broke
lives
it.
there.
Yeah.
That was you, bro.
I was like, why would I do this to myself? I came home after a hard day of work and I'm like, what is going on in this bathroom? And like the lid was down and everything. So it was like a little surprise for me. It was like, surprise. You forgot to flush this morning, you animal.
Those
Yeah,
water
dude.
mines, dude.
It was
That's
terrifying,
hilarious.
dude. I was
But
scared.
but I got the Epic Game Store on there as well, just because I have some games on there. That's what the kids are playing. The kids are playing Lego Batman off the Epic Game
Okay.
Store. As you see, those are two different launchers inside of my launcher. I'm fucking exhibit with my launchers inside of launchers.
Yeah.
That process I was worried about because I thought it would be cumbersome and shitty. I
Hmm.
actually installed both BattleNet, the Epic Game Store, and put all of the icons and pictures and shit without plugging a keyboard in.
Nice.
I did it like there's a button to switch to desktop mode. You just go to a website and add it to your Steam library. Everything has you just do a Proton layer, find the folder that installs to, and if you are familiar with anything of Linux before, and if you're not, Proton or was it Wine Tools? There's a Proton thing for it. I think it's called Proton Tools or something like that. I can actually pretty much look at it
Is
now, but
Android Linux? I feel like an old man.
it is, but
Because I feel like there's a bunch of different distros, a bunch of
it is, but
flavors
it's
of
very
Linux.
proprietary. I'd
Yeah, kind of
say,
like Ubuntu's become, and
yeah,
Raspberry Pi, I think, is also derivative. Maybe
yep,
I
yep.
don't know. I'm just
No,
talking
Raspberry
out.
Pi is its own thing.
Maybe.
It runs Linux, but it's its own
Okay,
thing.
sound
Uh,
system.
yeah. What is this fucking thing called? Yeah, so this is the desktop mode, so it's just a normal
Oh,
computer. You got
yeah,
my
you got a
mouse
little
is the
mouse
thumb
there.
pad. The deck has buttons on the back too that are programmable.
Nice.
Um, yeah, dude. Oh yeah, the discovery. So I was worried about like installing third-party shit onto Linux, and with like Discovery, it's like its little internal app browser. I installed Discord on it, no problem. I've been able to join my normal Discord channels talking while playing games, so there's been
Okay.
no difference there.
Have you played
Uh,
Valorant on it?
no, and I won't because Valorant only
Yeah.
runs. Oh, it's called Proton Tricks. So just to see where I installed folders to, and just to add it to Steam, it makes it a little easier. So, pro tip for anyone trying to do that. I haven't done the dual booting into Windows 10 yet. I will. Just to get Valorant on it, and I think League of Legends runs better with
Oh.
that, even though there's a Proton layer for it. But I hear just Windows 10 just makes it easier. Um,
Do you feel that's
uh,
just like Linux being Linux?
yes and no.
Because
Because of
I've
Valorant,
always
it has
like,
anti
okay,
cheat.
here's my backstory, bro.
Sure.
Like every 10 years or so, I try and switch to Linux. I say F Windows, I'm done
Yep.
with it. Linux finally seems to have their shit figured out. I'm going to switch over. And then without fail, there's always like one driver or one problem, like with a
Yep.
periphery that shows up, or like one game or piece of software I can't run that I need for like whatever
Yep.
workflow or game or I'm doing. Like, and I'm always just like, well, I guess I'm going back to Windows.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So I am not that heavy into Linux or anti Windows. I actually think if you're running Linux and you're trying to play games with your friends, you are the problem. Because it's like, oh, I can't do that because I'm on Linux. It's like, well, fuck you, dude. Just get Windows. It's free. God damn it. But I will say, like, and Professor showed me this too, because he runs primarily Linux and he is the problem. But
yeah.
what Valve has done to make Linux viable for gaming is understated, and people praise it, but it is understated in the general public. This
But
has
it's like
been the
out of fear,
easiest.
right?
Yeah, well, because they didn't want to pay anything, they don't want to make their own. They made Steam OS, but it's based off of a Linux distro, right?
No, I'm
Um,
saying that their Steam is afraid of Windows because Windows like was like,
they want the
oh,
cut.
well, no, Windows was like, we have our own Play Store now. Like
Yeah,
this like I think it's like, was it like
that was a
Windows
while ago.
Explorer web browser still like the number one web browser in the world? This is because like
Not
people are like, it
Chrome
comes
is now.
installed, I'll just use it, whatever.
Yeah,
Uh, but like I don't know, it seems like as the older generation like moves on or gets a little bit more wise, they're like, oh yeah, maybe this proprietary Windows platform isn't like the best for consumers if
yep,
everything's one system.
yep,
But yeah, I know like Steam was like afraid of getting pushed off the business, off the system. Because at any
Yeah.
point, like Windows can like flip a switch and be like, "Nah, we're not going to let you on our platform anymore."
Right,
Uh,
right. Or just you
and
have to pay for your app to get red licensed and registered and all that shit. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
There's some other things about it. Mostly not having to pay a cut to Microsoft was a big thing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah. So with Steam OS and all that shit and Linux, and actually they're partnering with the anti-cheat programs. BattleEye has a Proton compatibility layer, so you can play a lot of games that have anti-cheat using BattleEye on Linux natively. So like the current game that is the big all the rage right now is the Cycle Frontiers, works on the Steam Deck. You just need to install the BattleEye layer and just fucking play it.
Is cheating still like a huge problem in like
100%.
CS:GO? Yeah.
Oh,
All
100%.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I trust like Steam to like be the authority on like anti cheat
No, no,
stuff,
no,
but
no, no, not to make the anti cheat, but just to
yeah.
so it's third party anti cheat programs working on Linux.
All right.
So Valve has enough weight and the Steam Deck has enough pre-orders and like hype where developers are actually starting to take Linux seriously, and like EA and Respawn Entertainment famously were all like, yeah, we're not going to support the Steam Deck because it's Linux and so you can't play Apex Legends on it.
Yeah.
People, there was a fucking huge outcry. People were like, oh, this is dumb, why not? There's a million people who just bought the Steam Deck. And then Respawn went, and then Valve goes, hey, we have a new version of our compatibility layer out that we just released to all the anti-cheat people. It should be pretty seamless to plug and play. Respawn assigned 2 guys to it. It took them 3 days and they had it working. So then
Yeah, man.
Apex Legends works on the Steam Deck with anti-cheat. You can play it online
That's
natively.
good. I mean,
It's
that's
fucking
like
awesome.
throwing stones in a glass house, though, man. Like Apex Legends had also have like a bunch of cheating problems. Like their servers went down. Like,
Well, no,
it's a big
the
news
servers went
story,
down
right?
because of
Protests, Titanfall
protests of
issues.
Titanfall. Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's still something, right? And then Battle the other one, and Easy Anti Cheat has a lot of Proton compatibility layers. It's per game though, so you have to really look. But I'm actually impressed by how much support this is getting in such a short period of time.
yeah.
The
It's been a chicken egg situation for a long
Mhm.
time where they Linux platform as a whole, like nobody really wants to develop for it because there's not enough user acquisition there to like
1% of the
justify it.
market, and that's
Yeah.
being generous. Yeah.
I don't know. I've gamed on Linux. Shout out to Tux Racer. Shout out to like in the early days, like there used to
Yep.
be like a lot of repositories just for Linux games where you can just
Shout
install
out
games.
Nexius, baby.
I would almost say it's like the same problem that we talked about last week with like mobile phones and like the expectation of like 99 cents are free. Or like if it's more than free, like people don't even want to mess with it. I think Linux has been its own worst enemy when it comes to gaming because like they're like, how come nobody's making Linux games? And they're like, well, just buy the Linux games that are out there and more people will make them. They're like, I'm not paying for games on Linux. Linux should be free, homie. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's you're free to think that, but like
But people need to make a living.
yeah, people need to live and eat food and stuff.
Yep.
And like, it doesn't necessarily need to be like these huge for-profit endeavors. But damn, dude, like people need to, control their 4 walls and eat some dinner, dude.
Yeah.
And don't come at me with tips either, dude. People are like, oh, just set up
Linux
like a tip jar.
Love to give you tips for it, you know what I mean? Or as well, like
just have it free, dude. Buy me a coffee.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they still like in the modding community, like when they did that for like Skyrim, the person was like, yeah, over the life of like the 10 years I've had this mod out, like I've made a total of like $28 for like the tip jar, dude. But people are like, how come you trying to charge money for your mod now? It's like, because I want to make some money for my hard work, dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, exactly. So, where was that? Yeah, so like this is hypercharge unboxed. Current game people are playing runs fucking phenomenally. It might because the cat, I'm using a webcam to look at it, and I'm not looking at it. But
are you playing multiplayer right now?
Yeah, I joined a server. I'm an asshole.
How dare you, dude? People are like, why are you just staring at the ceiling?
That's the thing. It just works. It just works, dude. Like, it's incredible. So, playing my Steam games on the go is such a crazy thing, right? And the Steam Deck actually having hype and stuff, it's has forced developers to look at anti-cheat across different platforms, so it's increasing the player base. The other thing too is I game at night, typically when the kids go to bed, right? Sometimes I don't want to sit at my computer, right? So then I'm not gaming.
Yeah.
I can be in my bed, dude, playing Elden Ring. Just like I had a Steam Link too, so I could already do that. But it's a different thing. I could be on the like my big thing is, can I be on the toilet and playing this with the Steam Deck? Yes. Like
It's the most dad
if
thing
you
you've ever
list the
said.
exactly, if you list a couple of games like your Final Fantasy that you're playing right now, Steam
Yeah.
Deck verified, you can play Final Fantasy on the toilet, dude. You know what I
All
mean? It's
right.
like
Yeah.
it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. And then full
I
Discord
was
stuff
playing
like
it in VR, dude. I had it,
yeah.
hot streaming it. About the virtual desktop, and I've been using that.
Finally, bro.
Yeah.
Finally. I've
Yeah, I
been
was using the
looking for
proprietary thing, and like
yeah.
that breaks when I was like hooking it up to like do stuff in Unity to it,
Yeah.
and it was not fun. I got the virtual desktop, and I just could put my Xbox 360 controller in and just
Yep.
playing Final Fantasy, dude.
I've been
Living
telling
it.
you, man, to use
Because in the
virtual stuff
future,
forever. But
I get it.
so I'm glad you
It's
mentioned
worth
that.
the
So
$20.
that brings me to my next thing for the Steam Deck. People have complained about the battery life. For certain games that are high intensive, sure, the battery, would last like an hour, hour and a half, stuff like that for like Elden Ring and stuff. But with the newest updates and stuff, Valve gives you so much control over the system because it's not. People are like, oh, it's a handheld console. No, it is a handheld PC. It is a
Yeah.
handheld, fully featured PC.
I will
And
say that my laptop, when it's unplugged, it's about like an hour and a half of life.
okay,
So that's like untethered, and that's not doing any gaming on it.
yeah.
That's
This
like
is
me,
10
like,
hours.
yeah.
10 hours not doing anything. I played Vampire Survivor last night, which doesn't take anything, for 4 hours, and then went to bed, woke up, didn't charge it, and played more of it for like 2 hours before work. So,
Yeah.
and it still had charge. So that's what, 6 hours. So I haven't done a big intensive game yet, so I'll have to go get back to you at a certain point. But you can control the clock speed, you control the GPU clock, you control the brightness, you can dial so much in, and you have per game profiles that are optional that you can set. So if you find settings you like that maximize performance and battery life, set that as forever for that specific game, and you don't have to worry about it. Like, people are like, oh, it should just work. That's the thing too, it does just work, but you can make it work better.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I absolutely love the customability of it, and it's fantastic. I don't regret the purchase whatsoever, not one bit.
That
Which
sounds like
brings
something
me-
somebody who regrets the purchase would say.
Which brings me to my next thing. I bought something.
All right.
I never thought I'd purchase what I just purchased, but the Steam Deck and my next couple of work sponsored travel kind of forced my hand. I bought AR glasses, dude. Altered reality glasses. So I bought the Nreal Airs. They'll get here a week and a half from now.
What
So
the hell
from Japan.
happened, man? What are you thinking?
So you can plug it into the Steam Deck, right?
Think you're Tom Cruise, bro?
Put the glasses on and straight up be Tom Cruise, right?
All right.
So you get the full screen, which actually saves your battery life because you're not using the Steam Deck screen to display the game. But
I'm against this.
There, right?
For the people listening, just listen. I'm shaking my head, literally shaking my head.
It's fucking cool, dude. It's fucking cool.
It's cool. All right. But also, it's not. It's really not.
Because so here's my use case, right?
All
I'm gonna
right.
be traveling for work 3 times within the next 4 months, right? So it's like 1 time a month.
Yeah.
I'll be gone from my desktop for 3 to 7 days, or 3 to 9 days per time. That's a lot of time without gaming, right? I could bring my Switch, which I will,
Okay.
but I'm not going to bring the dock. I could, but I'm like this. I'm not
Wait,
gonna
so
bring my
you're
PC.
taking your Nintendo Switch, your Steam Deck, and your AR glasses for like a 3-day trip, dude? Is that what you're
Yes.
trying to tell me?
100%.
All right.
And I'm
Your
going to be in the
phone.
hotel. I'm going to be. I don't.
Your
play games on my
your
phone,
work
though.
laptop.
Yeah, that's fair. But the work laptop, I literally can't put fun things on it. So, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a mouse, and I bought a mini mechanical keyboard. So I have a mouse, a keyboard, the AR glasses, and a
Your
docking
Steam
station.
Deck, your
And
Nintendo
with the
Switch,
Steam Deck,
your cell phone,
and I'm
your
gonna be
work
playing.
laptop.
I'm gonna be playing, dude, with a full fucking screen.
All
and, with with AR glasses and my mouse and keyboard. Dude.
Couldn't you have just
Nothing's
gotten
stopping me. Got a
Alright,
gaming
nothing.
laptop?
like a HDMI adapter and like plugged into like your TV at like the hotel or something?
Sure.
All right. It's
Sure,
also an option.
sure. But what about when I'm on the plane and I want to watch a movie but I don't want to look down?
Are you gonna have some earbuds or something with you, or a
Yeah,
headset? All
yeah. I'll
right.
have my the headphones I have right now. I take that with me traveling.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
I'll
know you're a
have
bit of an
that. I'll have my
audiophile. I was like,
glasses.
there's no
Yeah,
way
yeah,
you're
I'm a
gonna
bit of
use
an
like
odd.
some
Yeah, yeah. There's
dollar
no way.
store
No.
earbuds. I was like, it's not
Definitely,
happening. All
definitely. So I'm
right.
gonna have the AR glasses. I'm gonna have these headphones, and I'm gonna be on the plane, fucking watching a 120-inch screen on my glasses, dude.
You're living in the future, man. That's all
Yeah,
right.
man. Yeah.
I
So
I don't respect your decision, but I respect you for making it.
when I get it, dude, next time
I
when I
feel like you're just a little too early for your
you think so?
technology. Yeah, this is like have you ever seen that photo of like the time traveler proof time travelers exist, and it's like a guy like with like a handheld camera and like he looks like a hipster time traveler.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's you.
I've
And
seen
like
that.
everyone, like somebody like broke down in the photo, like everything that guy's wearing is stuff you could have gotten in that time period, but it's just like really expensive. So like it was like there's like the cameras using is like one of like 1,000 that were made, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
that's
thing,
you,
though,
dude.
dude. That's the
You're
thing.
gonna
So
a
I'm
hundred years
not
from
too
now.
early. Yeah.
No, dude, 100 years from now, there's gonna be a picture of you like in the airplane with like your AR glasses, the headphones,
Right.
and like a Steam Deck, and people will be like, "What is he using? What is that? Who's that guy?"
Who's this
Is-
fucking dweeb? Yeah, exactly. But
yeah.
yeah, man. I actually thought about buying an Oculus too, so I could have my PC VR games on the go with
All
my
right.
Steam Deck.
Does that pair up to the Steam Deck?
Yes, it does.
Does the Valve headset, dude?
No, no,
Wow,
because
that seems like a
you need
gross
a
oversight.
it's because you need a display port for it, and I don't think it will power it. Uh,
Huh?
but since the Oculus is wireless
Yeah.
completely, you can pair it with ALVR and run your
You,
PC VR games
I
off of
mean,
it.
Steam owns
Or it
all
can
this stuff. You
play.
think they would make like an adapter that like powers and
They
you
might.
know?
They might. Valve has another VR headset that's been in under apps for quite some time. That's supposed to be a
Yeah.
standalone like the Quest. So we'll see what the future holds. But as of now, if I wanted to play my PC VR games, obviously not Half-Life Alyx, because I doubt it could push that. But
Yeah.
other games,
You
like
never know,
people
dude. Like
play
if it's
Beat Saber and
small
shit.
enough.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because that's
I
what
think
that's the tomfoolery that the Oculus is doing. It's like it's pushing out like a really small display and then just running it once and like putting it out to the second display.
yep.
So it's not pushing as cutting edge graphics as you would think in the back end. So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
basically a modified cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
So
no.
so we'll see how it goes, man. But like I said, I am over the moon with the Steam Deck. I'm actually incredibly impressed by it. When it first was announced, before I talked to Professor, I thought, why would anyone get this? And he
Yeah.
was super hyped for it and jumped on the pre-order bandwagon right away. And until the day of pre-ordering, I wasn't hype at all until Professor said this to me. He's like, imagine playing Halo on the shitter. I'm like, damn it. All right, I'll buy it. And
Gotcha,
I don't
dude.
even give a shit about playing Halo on the shitter now. It's like all the other things I can do. So
Have you played Halo on it at all?
nope.
Have you been
Nope.
playing Halo at all, man? I feel like
No, not in like a month, dude. It's
dang,
season 2 just fucking disappointed the hell out of me, dude.
that sucks, man.
It does. I mean, I have hope that like it's still installed. I'm still following it, but like
It
no
seems like
maps,
they
no real
pushed it out
updates.
too soon because of the
100%.
anniversary, and
100%.
now it's almost like they it's like a loss of faith because like even if they fix it like in season 3 or 4, it's like
It's a little too
it's
late.
like a little too late. Yeah.
So late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always time, but that's yeah. But no, I mean, there's still time. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like I gotta say, people are like, "Oh, it's the Switch killer." I mean, the Switch still does something that the Steam Deck doesn't, which is absolutely incredible. It's the docking. So when you dock your Switch, it's just on your TV. You undock it, it's just on the Switch. From what I've heard, I haven't docked the Steam Deck yet because I don't have a dock yet. But
Yeah, I heard they
from what
only
I've-
have like third-party ones available right now.
yeah, yeah. From what I've heard, it's not as seamless with the Steam Deck, which like Nintendo's doing some fucking wizardry to get this
Yeah.
shit working. So and Nintendo has it's like people are like, oh, you can emulate games. What I have a Switch, so why would I emulate it? That's you're
Yeah.
always gonna get better stuff when you're running natively anyway. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, a lot of people say that is the way to do it because you can just do the direct ROM dumps from the Switch onto your computer. So it's like it's more official that way, instead of getting some other Yeah.
Yeah, that's some fucking
Yeah.
jerk off bullshit. But yeah,
Whatever.
but yeah, dude,
Just
I
buy
think
Nintendo
that
stuff, dude. I told you like
right
that play date almost got me buying this Switch last week where I was like,
for sure.
man, I was literally had the page open. I was looking, I was like, I could just buy this. And like, oh, it's so easy, dude. Amazon would have had it there for me like later that same day. I was like, do you want this by like 7 p.m. tonight, bro? Because I could do that for you. And I was like, shit,
To make
dude.
it too easy, man.
I was like, nah, I can't. I can't.
But yeah, man. So yeah, the Steam Deck, great purchase. I don't think like the 64 gigabyte model would be worth it just because of the different screen. But gotta say, dude, I can't praise it enough, and the
All
hype
right.
around it is not unwarranted.
It's real, man. Yeah, because all I've ever heard is really good stuff about it.
Yeah.
I still don't see the point personally, but I just invested way too much in a gaming laptop. So
Yes. Yes.
I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to like
Yeah.
this seems like if I could have just waited longer and did this would have been the better solution for me, but whatever.
No, because you
I
needed the
regret
video
nothing.
card though. You needed the video card for sure.
Yeah, for editing and game
Yeah.
making and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Like I
for
I
running
may
trench
still.
broom.
Yeah. Right. I may still get a laptop, like because I have the work one, which I mean it's not my big use case, but you know if there's a LAN and I want like full performance and all that shit, I'm gonna get just a gaming laptop because I realized I hate lugging around my computer, dude. That's
Yeah.
fucking annoying. And I'm bringing a monitor and all that bullshit, and my shit's all tucked in and cable managed at home, so I have to
How
undo
dare
all
you,
that
bro?
shit.
This is coming from the guy who's rolling around with a Steam Deck, a Nintendo Switch, a laptop. You're like, oh, who wants to carry around a PC, bro? Look at you, dude. How dare you? You have no leg to stand on this, dude.
Bro, next time we LAN, it's gonna be me on the Steam Deck with my mini mechanical keyboard, my AR glasses, and a
Yeah.
fucking mouse, and like on a fucking
You're gonna be wearing a
like,
fanny pack with your Steam
yeah.
Deck in it. You'd be like, all right, guys, let's go fingerless gloves, AR glasses with a mechanical mouse and keyboard, bro. And you're like,
right.
you only have like the gripper keyboard where it's just the
yeah,
one-handed
yeah, that's what I was
one,
thinking too.
the Wazda one, dude. Yep. All right, I see you, bro.
Efficiency, dude. Efficiency.
You like, look at you guys still gaming on laptops and PCs. I see. You're like, wait,
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
downloading things from the cloud. Like,
Yep,
that's
yep.
the internet, dude.
I think the big thing too is with it, it can't be overstated. I'm running everything on the device. It's not I haven't streamed
Yeah.
anything yet. It's running on the device. That's the most incredible thing, dude.
Yeah, it's a computer,
So-
dude.
Yeah,
Computers
man,
are getting powerful, dude.
crazy.
It's nuts.
You know, I was joking with my wife. I was like, you know, the Dr. Octopus quote from Spider-Man. He's like, the power of the sun in the palm of my hands. You know,
Yeah,
that's,
dude.
That's what the
That's
Steam
like
Deck
even
is,
when I
dude.
bought a flip phone at one point because I just needed a phone,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't need a smartphone for anything right now in my life. And I bought this flip phone, and I was like, this thing has a 4 core 1.8 gigahertz processor. I'm like, why is this thing so powerful? And nobody else is impressed by it.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
people-
like, the first computer I bought was 133 hertz. Like, this is insane. Like
mine was,
that was like,
Pentium 2 350. And then I
Yeah.
upgraded to a Pentium 3 500, baby.
there you go, bro. Yeah, it's the power of the sun in your hand, dude. Like,
Yeah, man. It's
that
incredible.
turbo button.
I think I always think of to kind of wrap up the my thoughts today on it is every time I get like a new piece of equipment, I always think back to myself as a kid wanting things like this. You know, like dreaming that it's possible. Like I've said before, my big thing with VR was being inside of Doom, being inside of an X-wing,
Now
being
you
inside
can
of
be.
a TIE fighter. You know, like as I've said before, the very first time I loaded up Star Wars Squadrons and I'm fucking looking around and I'm inside of a goddamn X-wing, I fucking teared up, dude. It was like all of my childhood like just happening.
Like, oh, it's happening.
When I played Doom in fucking VR, dude, like my dad and I remember like it was yesterday, dude. Like we had a conversation. He's like, in the future, we'll be in the game. We won't need controllers and shit anymore. You know, he's not quite there, but it's
close.
It's getting close, man. Now with the Steam Deck, like all these games that I've wanted to just take on the go and do shit and like have you ever been at like a family function and you're bored to death and you couldn't do anything for fun? Like I always think to those times like I'm at a family reunion or something and
Yeah.
like it's mostly adults, there's no kids to play with or whatever, and I'm bored. I can just bring the fucking Steam Deck. I remember when I got a fucking Game Boy, dude, and the Game Boy was just like, oh, good God,
It's a
finally I
game
can be
changer.
out of this noise. Now, dude, I'm playing whatever the fuck I want, and it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
So
I also feel like booze have fallen out of vogue as well, because that used to be the social lubricant at family gatherings when I was
yeah,
growing up. Like every adult had an adult beverage in their hands.
yeah,
Whereas now
yeah.
everyone like looks at you like, "Are you an alcoholic? What's your problem?
Right, right,
What's
right,
going on
right.
with you?" And it's like, I just want a beer, dude. I don't have a problem. You guys have
Yeah,
a problem. You're sober
right,
at a
right.
child's birthday party. How dare you?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, man, I'd say that if anyone's on the fence of the Steam Deck, uh, if you're, I would say if you don't travel or you don't have a use case for not being at your computer, probably not worth it. Honestly. But
Yeah,
for me, with like kids and stuff, like I don't want my kids using my computer, and when
yeah.
I'm on it or something, I don't like, and they're trying to play or they want my attention. I don't want to just like be away from it. So like yesterday the kids were good, and the reward was they could play video games, right? I very
Oh,
seldomly let them play. So my son was playing the PS5, my daughter was playing 3DS, and I was playing the Steam Deck. We were all sitting on the couch together and we were all doing our own thing, but we're still together,
wow.
so
Yeah, that's what counts.
yeah, man. So it was great. So overall, Steam Deck gets a thumbs up from me. I'd
Nice.
recommend it if you have the use case. And do I recommend it over a gaming laptop? Probably not, because I mean, I still
All
have to.
right.
I mean, still doing Linux stuff, but
How do you feel about the state of Linux games in there?
I think that it's a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
And the limitations are there, but less than what I expected. So I think it's in a positive. It's in a positive plus, and it's going to grow. We every day, every week. Steam keeps pushing these updates so fast, man, where it can only get better. I
It
think
also
that
seems like every major developer for video game engines
yeah,
has like a one button solution for it as well.
yeah,
It's not like the
yeah,
old days where like you had to like figure out like some sort of like a compiler that you'd have to like export like your code to.
yep,
It's like,
yep.
it's built in. I don't know if it's in Game Maker. I know it's in
It
like
is, it
Unity,
is.
Unreal. It's in Game Maker. All right. It's in Godot. People
Yep.
love these things. I think it's in RPG Maker as well. Like it's in that, like everything has like a solution to either put it out to web or like Linux now. So
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's cost prohibitive. I think maybe it needs to get rid of the black eye of like your game will be pirated and stolen on Linux if you put it out there. It's,
It gets
Linux is
stolen
a
on
bunch of,
everything else
yeah,
anyway, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's dumb.
Yep.
Like
Agreed.
I don't know. But yeah, it's like an old backwards thinking. I think that has prevailed like the industry as well. Like a Linux, that's where the pirates are.
Yep.
I mean, that was like one of the major fears when the PlayStation 3 dropped, where they're like, oh, it's going to be open source. You can do stuff on here. It's built off Linux. And then like it came out, they're like, actually, we're closing off the system. You can't use it for anything. And
That
then it
was a
got
mistake on
hacked, and
Sony's
they
end.
blamed like
Yeah.
the Linux users. They're like,
Yeah.
this must be Linux pirates. It's like, I think it's just financial pirates, bro. Like,
Yep. Yep.
it's
Exactly.
crazy. And they're like, we're sorry
Exactly.
about that. Here's a $10 gift card for the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, dude. I think it's getting better. I like your use case. I think the gaming laptop that you purchased was the better purchase for your situation.
Yeah,
Um,
this was a desktop replacement solution for me. It wasn't like a
yes.
video gaming solution. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. The
uh,
Steam Deck is not a desktop replacement for
yeah,
sure.
this would have been instead of the Xbox Series S that I bought. It would have been wait a
Yes.
year and get the Steam Deck instead, which probably would have been better because I barely use the Xbox Series because they have the Game Pass now, dude. It just makes so much more
Obviously. Yeah.
sense to
Yeah.
just stream stuff. I know like most of the games kind of suck at streaming. And it is really nice to run stuff off the Series S too. Like I'll just download to that and then
Yep.
play.
Yep.
So it's okay. I don't use it enough to I feel like justify like the purchase though. Like if I could have just ported over my Steam library instead, I think I would have rather had that. But
I
yeah,
think like if you have like all the fancy bells and whistles, it's worth it for that, or like media as well, like 4K movies and stuff on like the Series. Oh no, you don't. The S doesn't have a drive, so that doesn't matter for you. But like
yeah,
for me, I
can't
watch
even
my
watch
4K
Blu-rays.
Blu-rays on like my PS5 or my Series X.
Who's
But
still buying physical media, bro?
I am because I'm an audiophile and a media file, like a video file, dude. Like I need to have like I can't have yeah, my shit
You're
needs to be
keeping
good.
GameStop in business, bro. Just you.
No, I don't actually don't buy from GameStop. Fuck them, dude.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
fair.
yeah, exactly. But you know, it's what it is, man. Like I said, I'm happy with the purchase. I think if you want it, get it. There's, you know, I
If you can get it,
if
that's
you can get it.
the other problem, man.
Yeah,
There's
I gotta
back
say,
orders
man,
everywhere.
I was quarter two, and the community estimation said like end of July. Mine was the second week in July,
Okay,
and
it's
from
not
when I
too
got
bad.
from when the email was sent to me, from when I purchased it, I got my Steam Deck 3 days later.
Nice.
So, and that was over, that was after a holiday weekend too. So I think it was very quick, no problems, and kudos to Valve, man. And the other
All right.
thing that I forgot to mention at the top of this while we wrap up is it feels like a premium product as well. The build quality is perfect.
Nice.
No complaints here, man. And
No issues.
ergonomically, it's very comfortable. It's heavy.
Mm.
Like people are like, it's heavy. I'm like, well, yeah, it's so much power in it. It's fucking full PC
It's
fans
the
in it.
power
You know what I
of the
mean?
sun in your hands.
Exactly.
It's gonna have
Yeah,
a little weight to it.
yeah,
Don't
dude.
drop it, dude.
So no negatives on that thing, man. I'm happy.
Nice, man.
I'm happy.
I'm happy for you. I'm
Appreciate it, brother. All right,
aside
man.
from like your weird traveling excursions with all your peripheries and the AR glasses, I can't get behind that. But man, I'm happy that you're happy, dude. I don't agree with it, but but
Shout out Poison. I told him my plans, and he goes, "You dude, you're the fucking lawnmower man in real life."
whatever, man. You live you, all right. Some people choose to live that way. It's not for everybody, but I respect it.
Sir, yes, sir.
You
All
could
right,
play
brother.
Doom on it.
You can definitely play Doom on it.
Crack
All right,
open trench broom and make some Quake maps, bro.
on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
All right, man.
absolutely.
You challenged me. All
Could
right,
do
brother.
anything on there. All right, man.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with the purchase. Good to go. We'll see
All
you
right.
next week.
Yeah.
And
Like,
like,
share,
share,
subscribe.
subscribe. Think about us as you fall to sleep.
Someone's got to pay for this crippling AR addiction that Mr. Gimpy has.
All right. On that note, I'm Mr. Gimpy. It's
Chipmunk.
Chipmunk. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next time on the Combo Wombo podcast. Later.
We out.